Listen, we have a lot of cultural differences across continents, guys. Like specifically from the United States of America to Europe. Yeah, there are a lot of things that are different. And depending on where you are specifically in Europe, it can get even crazier, guys. Think about this here. Half the year I live in Andalusia, Spain, Costa del Sol specifically. And then the other half I live in the United States of America. There's even gigantic cultural differences from one side of the United States of America to the other side, from the north to the south. Everything is just generally different once you get a big enough distance away, right? And even if we're talking about just exclusively the United Kingdom, from the United Kingdom to the United States of America are also gigantic differences, even though our language is somewhat similar, right? So I definitely expect there to be a lot of actual cultural differences that we don't know of. So we're here for this, yes? Name of the video is USA versus Europe, a guide to cultural differences. And this is a suggestion via Discord. Let's check it out. This is coming from the channel Honest Guide.
Hey there, we are guides from Prague, Czech Republic, and this is one of our favorite pubs. But somebody just recently left a nasty review complaining about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" The waiter brought the beer, and then once the person was finished, they brought another beer. And this guy was complaining about it. What is he talking about?
Yeah,
That's
weird,
the best
bro.
thing. Once you're finished with your beer, they bring another one.
All right.
So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European, that's a good sign. For an American, that may be kind of weird or rude.
Not so much. I mean, I guess, how about this? In terms of beer, that may in fact stand out as something absolutely crazy because you're like, bro, wait. I have to pay for more beer now. I'm not even going to finish it. I was almost done, right? I mean, that could be a thing, but also keep in mind, they do beer like we do soda at a restaurant. They're going to consistently give you more drinks over and over and over again. While in Europe, you're not getting any refills, bro. That's not a thing. You pay for your drink, and when you're done, you buy another drink. All right? So that would be probably the rebuttal to that one.
So today we want to talk about cultural differences between our country, our city, and United States of America.
Ooh, guys, also beer at McDonald's or beer at Burger King, beer at KFC. You can get beer in the drive-thru.
First of all, you may be surprised what the beer looks like. Well, we have a video dedicated only to that. And second, when I walked in, I didn't look at a beer menu or something that may be quite common in the United States where you have different beers on tap. Most pubs and restaurants in Czech Republic will have one brewery on tap in the pub. So that's why you can walk in and just say, I'll have one. So I kind of like that. You walk into a pub and you don't have a million choices. You just say one.
I've noticed one thing about Europe really quickly. There is definitely a surprising lack of choice. I've noticed that. Like, for example, if you go to Taco Bell, this is the good one here. Go to Taco Bell anywhere in the United States of America. Then go to Taco Bell in Europe. First of all, they have French fries. That's weird. All right, and beer. But their menu is like maybe 6 items, right? I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they are, for the most part, homogenous in most of these European countries, right? So there's not really much difference in thought, I would say, or difference in overall taste. Everyone's raised in a similar manner, specifically if they're coming from a country in Europe. So what they like is generally what everyone likes, versus America, where we're a melting pot and we have all these different tastes and cultures, and not everyone likes the same exact thing. My wife is a Spaniard, and that's for the most part how she explained the lack of choice everywhere that we would go in Spain. Everyone kind of just likes the same thing. It's like, that's boring.
In US, not only you have a choice of beers that are on tap, quite often there's 5, 10, 20, but also they will ask you, do you want draft or bottle? What kind of question is that? The reason you go to a pub is to get beer on tap, to get draft beer. If you want bottled beer, you go to a supermarket. So for us, that's a big cultural difference that quite often we don't understand.
Yeah, you have a whole culture based around the bar, right? And the pubs. That's not really that much of a thing. The only time I've been to like a pub or a bar, it was in Manhattan and it was full of tourists.
Now a beer here costs 55 crowns. Let's call that $2.50 to round it up.
No way.
If you go to a stadium, to a sports event here in Prague, it's going to cost around $3. Well, nothing like that in US. If you go to a pub, it may cost $5,
$7.
$6. And you go to a stadium and it can cost
12.
$10, $15, even $20. Honza hates it. Whenever he goes to a sports event, he's always shocked with the price of the beer. I myself, when I travel to US, I usually don't go to sports events, but I like amusement parks. And just recently, I visited Universal Studios. It was the most expensive beer I ever had in my life. $15. I could not believe it. Now, I understand that going to amusement park, you don't go there for beer, you go there for the rides, but still $15? Dude, it was insane.
Guys, we have some of the highest cost of living out there. Like specifically when we refer to like Costa del Sol in Spain, guys, I think the average person probably makes around 12 to 1,500 euros, equates to maybe about 1,300 to maybe if we're lucky $1,600 a month, and we're talking about people with degrees. Okay, if we just talk about cost of living, this is the reason why things are like this. Seriously.
Why did I do that? Also, fun fact, I did not take a picture of the beer, but I did take a picture of the receipt. Now, the price of the beer, as I said at the amusement park, was $15, but I was asked to pay more than $16. Why?
Yeah,
it said 15. Well, tax was not included.
Yeah, in Europe they have VAT tax. It's included in the price, so that price is the price you pay. There's no math needed, but the United States of America likes taking our money.
What is this about? We go to a place, and I'm not only talking restaurants, but any store shop, and the price tag is the final price you pay. It says 55 here, it's gonna cost 55. They include the tax. Why don't you do that in US? It's just sad. I mean, imagine
You're
me,
right.
I'm 11 years old, I have my first dollar ever, and I walk into a dollar store, looking forward to buy something for $1.
Yeah, I think it's $1.50 store now.
I pick up the item, go to the register, $1.50. What? It's a dollar store, everything costs $1, not dollar store plus tax. Now let's switch from drinks to food. In any place, you can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no further questions will be asked. Well, in US, quite often they will ask you how you want it customized. Do you want bacon? Do you want that cheese? Do you want this cheese? Do you want this? Or
Again, he's coming from a place, from a point of view where there's not really much choice. We have a lot of choice.
that and that. It gets quite confusing for us.
I
and
bet.
you can imagine me being 11 years old in US, in New Jersey, first walking to
Ew, why would you go there?
a restaurant, ordering a burger, very much looking forward to it. And they asked me, how do you want your burger done? I said, I don't know, very well done, thinking that they would make it completely. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. They
they
brought
burnt
this
that.
black piece of meat that was unedible. And all my friends had a laugh about it. Now, to be fair, if you go to a restaurant in Prague nowadays and you will have a burger, they will ask you how you want it done. But once again, the fact that you can customize anything at a restaurant in US is very uncommon for us here. So if you come to a pub or a restaurant in Czech Republic, don't expect that you can customize every single item on the menu. That's why there's a menu with things that you pick from. I really hope we didn't lose our subscribers from United States. We love you guys. So to say something that we consider to be amazing in US that we don't have here is water. Free water at a restaurant, at a bar.
Yeah, because in Europe, they'll literally give you you have to buy a bottle of water. They will bring it to your table, and once that's done, guess what you have to do? Buy another bottle of water.
Anywhere. You sit down at a table, and in US, you get a glass of water. Never happens in the Czech Republic, ever. Not only that, if you ask for tap water, quite often they will say, no, we don't serve tap water. And you will get a tiny little bottle of water that you will pay for $2, $3, $4. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the drinks are crazy.
I know a restaurant where I go to, and I will always say, can I get tap water? And they're like, no, we can't do that. We can only sell you a bottle. And I quite often say, I'll pay you the same price that I'll pay for the bottle for tap water. Like, no, we can't do that. Crazy. Why did we cut to here? Where we are here thanks to our partner, which is Surfshark VPN. We're actually on the border with Germany, also many culture differences between.
Guys, Surfshark VPN, it's a VPN service. If that's what you want to do, they're cool. right? To mask your ID, your IP, and access your Netflix in a different country. All right.
That may be a bit of a shock for you when you come to Prague. Yes, quite often it is rude and not polite at all. That's also a huge difference for us when we go to US.
Tipping?
And a waitress will come to our table and she will introduce herself and she will smile and she will maybe recommend something from the menu. That would never happen here. I mean, it's changing, don't get me wrong. Service is getting better. But if you go to like a local place, a dive bar, which I would consider this place to be, quite often they'd be grumpy, and it takes a long time for them to get to know you. And after maybe a 20th visit, they will share a little smile with you.
Yeah, I've noticed this also. Like, I've had some of the worst customer service, period, in Europe. And I'm saying it as a monolith. Any country that I've been to, I've just experienced the worst customer service consistently. And it's just like they're pained by by you existing in this restaurant. Like, bro, that is absolutely the exact opposite. Because in America, they work for tips. So guess how they generally are? Super nice. Right? They're super nice. And they're a pleasure. It's a pleasurable experience for you to, be dining at this establishment, versus Europe, where they're just like, what do you want? What are you here for? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Not like in US. First time visitor, oh, I love coming you to our restaurant. My name is Wendy. Can I take your order?
Happened?
Hey, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, when I was first called darling or honey in a restaurant in US, I was like, she really loves me. She just called me darling. I like that. I mean, I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling. Let's make it stay that way, okay?
That's a good thing.
We're
sure.
tough guys. Even
That was cringe, bro.
though the two of us consider the service at places in the United States very good and very nice and very polite, there is one thing that we consider to be very rude. And that is, you're finishing your meal or maybe you're halfway through and suddenly a bill lands on your table. What is that? Are you kicking me out? That would never happen here. Any business, restaurant, pub, coffee place tries to keep you in the place as long as possible.
To buy drinks.
You're done with your meal, they'll offer you a dessert. You're done with your dessert, they will offer you coffee. You're done with your coffee, maybe you want to start over and have another appetizer. In other words, they want to keep you in as long as possible. You have to ask for the bill. In US, very often, you're halfway through, here's your bill. I'm like, well, maybe I want another something. No, the bill is already on the table.
Guys, this is not my experience. I don't know where he went. And this was his experience. Like, if you're sitting at the bar, bro, and you're drinking and you're not ordering food, I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to give you something, but he seems to kind of be an alcoholic, guys.
Table. Just weird.
Everything is alcohol oriented.
Speaking of the bill, let's dive into tipping. And that can create some big issues because that's a big cultural difference.
Oh, yeah.
In US, quite often we get asked, do you want to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? Which for us is like, whoa, that's a lot. A quarter of the bill just tips because it's a tip-based country or tip-based business. In Czech, that used to be very, very different. I mean, my dad would only round up the bill to the next higher number. If the bill was 99, he would round it up to 100. I believe most of our dads and mothers still do that. Nowadays, it's changing even here, and tipping goes from 10% higher if you're satisfied with the service. If the service is really bad, some people will simply not tip. If that would happen in the US, that you would not leave a single cent on a tip, I've experienced people running out of the restaurant and be like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Like, why did you not tip? So tipping is very, very different, and I'm curious what you will say about that in the comments. Whatever country you're from, I want to read what's the average tipping in your country.
All right, so I can just refer to Spain because, again, I live in Spain. There's no tipping unless you're in like a super touristy area where you'll encounter Americans and they'll leave money on the table. But I'm not sure. It's not common at all. It's not common at all. And we actually need to get rid of it in the United States of America. But I do like the fact that we get good customer service versus terrible customer service consistently. I would never tip anyone in Spain.
Now, this cultural difference is not only huge, but I consider it to be evil, and that is packaging and garbage in general. I'm not talking about if you go to a place where it's a takeout or you go to a fast food. Yes, they put it in a paper bag, either if you're in the US or here. But I'm talking about if you go to a restaurant and they create so much garbage, so much waste, even though you're at a restaurant. Quick example. Mostly if you get a drink at a bar in the US, they put a napkin under it, so it soaks the moist that's running under it. Well, that's for one use only. Afterwards, they will throw away the napkin. How about they use coasters? Because you can reuse the coaster. And that's just one very...
Because people will literally put them in their pockets and purse. See, America, I think in general, is not the most honest place in the history of places, okay? I know in Spain that's common, it's extremely common, and no one takes them. But in America, people are going to take those coasters, bro.
Simple example. Another one is if you order a ketchup at this place, they will bring it, either a bottle, some places in the US do that too, or they put it in a ceramic cup that they clean afterwards. Yeah. Not that they grab 20 ketchups and throw them next to your burger. Or even in McDonald's in Czech Republic, you pay for every single tiny packaging of any sauce, any ketchup. So you think about if you want one or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's 1,000,000 ketchups in tiny little bags. No, don't do that. I mean, you guys are going all Michael Bay packaging. Like, hey, yeah, that's a plastic bag. Let's put it in a paper bag and let's put more packaging and pack it up. You want it to go? Yeah, let's pack it up more. Whew.
All right.
Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, let's get rid of plastic straws. They really destroy the universe.
Yeah, until you actually go to like a Burger King specifically in Europe and they give you a paper straw. Then you put that paper straw into your cup and you feel that nasty texture in your mouth and you're like, you know what? Just give me the plastic bag. All right. Also, plastic bags are sold in grocery stores specifically. You go do your weekly shopping, most likely. Well, how about this? Bi-weekly shopping, let's say, because you're going twice, I'd say, most likely. Two. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to your shopping, and then you have to pay extra for every single plastic bag that you want, bro.
There's going to be one hell of a discussion under this video. I absolutely love you guys from US, and I love going to US, just so you know. We both do. Please don't...
I mean, bro, your reference is Florida and Jersey. These are both terrible places. Florida man walking around? Why would you want to be around Florida man? Then secondly, you went to the worst place in the history of places, New Jersey. Don't go there. I'm a little biased because I'm from New York and I just was raised to just utter disdain for anything Jersey oriented, right? But that could be, okay, so either way, all right? If this is your reference of the United States of America, then that's somewhat troubling, sir.
Don't cancel my ESTA.
Cancel it.
Let's drop the beer for a minute and let's talk about coffee and coffee culture differences between USA and Europe. Okay. Triggered already? Well, you'll get triggered more. Yes, in Europe, we do not consider this to be a cup of
That's a Americano.
Coffee. That's a gallon of coffee. If it's more than a gallon, it's not coffee. This is a cup of coffee. By the way, shocker, they have a cup of coffee in this pub. It's served in a ceramic cup. It's this size. You have a plate under it. It makes that...
Bro, that's a shot glass.
That little noise when you put it down. You sometimes even get a spoon with it so you can mix your little espresso. And this is how you drink it. Not a gallon. Doesn't fit in your...
Okay, bro, a gallon is a gallon. I get it, you don't know what a gallon is. But I think it's like 3.7 liters. That'll probably help you out. Or something somewhere in there, guys, right? But 2.7? Something 0.7. All right? Just be fully aware. That's not a gallon. Stop calling it a gallon.
Car so you can drive and sip on your little coffee soup throughout the day. Big difference, big shocker for us when we go to places in US and they simply don't serve something like this. Hold your horses. I know that coffee culture in the US is changing depending on which state you live in, if you live in a city and so on. But still mostly people think this is coffee and you cannot get this. It's sad for us Europeans. Can I get a cup of coffee? You want venti grande, grande XL, grande XXXXL?
He's right here. So occasionally we bring, my wife and I, when we are in the United States of America, we bring her younger sister here. And she's always absolutely shocked and appalled by the sizes of every single thing that she sees. Like even the McDonald's, for example, a McDonald's medium French fry is a large French fry in Spain. Okay, just heads up, size down everything, every single thing. And in terms of coffee, her mind is blown. She's like, I get this much coffee for this price? It doesn't make any sense to her. It's hilarious.
Like the Italians drinking. Whoa. Now this next cultural difference may sound weird, but I believe it should be addressed. And that is restrooms and toilet sizes in restaurants and pubs. And I'm not talking about the actual seat size, but I'm talking about you have a big pub and there's one toilet. There's like one restroom for the entire pub where there's like hundreds of people. And the stalls where you can like sit to do number 2 are very like see-through. Like there's no privacy. Like there's no door at the bottom. Like if somebody peeks, they can see you. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it, how like it's kind of weird that people can't really see you. So that's a big difference. If there's a big pub here, it has many restrooms, many toilets, and it can, do the business people need and accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the ones we mentioned are not the only cultural differences between our continents. There's many more. We can talk about different units. We can talk about different forms of transportation, how we move around cities and countries, how big are our cars and your cars.
Your cars are tiny. Your cars are absolutely tiny. Oh my.
And many more topics. So let us know in the comments if you want us to cover more topics. And while you're there, please don't be mad at us. This was not made to insult you, only to give you perspectives on our culture habits and your cultural habits that we experience when we go over to your lovely continent that we love to visit. But sometimes we're just like, that's weird. We're the honest dudes from Prague. That dude's name is Honza. My name is Janek. We go by The Honest Guide, our channel full of content. So if you're planning to come to Prague, Europe, check out our videos. We do scams, we show you beers, we show you restaurants, coffee places, and cultural differences.
Right, and a lot of alcohol. All right, guys, listen. So he's not wrong. Like living this life for the last, almost a decade now. Like living this existence of moving back and forth between Europe and the United States of America, there's a lot more. But he definitely pointed out probably the ones that are probably the most poignant here, guys. Tipping culture, the size of things. I would honestly say, like my wife still gets like moderately shocked at things whenever they hit the table from like at a restaurant. She's like, "Why is this so big? This is why all of you are fat," she says. And I'm like, yeah, I like eating it. Well, how about this? Eat your portion. Eat whatever you want on your plate and just give me that. That's mine. I'll be fat over here by myself. Right? I appreciate you. You're caring. Right? I'm telling you. But all right, listen. So you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.